Okay, here we go. I've got this little tool set I bought a while back for working on like my MacBook and some things like that. And it's a tiny little screwdriver set. And apparently you need a tiny little screwdriver, little Phillips head, to take the battery out of this wand. So I'm going to take this little compartment open. A tiny little Phillips head. And I do mean tiny little Phillips head, very tiny. It says it's a, I don't know, can't even read it. It's a zero, a number 0 Phillips head, so if that means something to some of you out there, that's fine. Okay, so we've got the battery going here. Somehow we'll open this up. All right. We're nice enough to wrap this. Probably one of the oxymorons of the day. It's a cheap battery marked supercell. So I don't know how super of a cell it is, but hopefully it's good enough to turn this on. So we're gonna get this plugged in, like so. Get the battery laid down in there. Come on. Like that. Oh look, it came on. Wonders never cease. And then there's an on-off switch on it. And we'll put the cover back on this little baby. Doesn't seem to be in there right though. It's kind of bulging. I'm not sure exactly what the deal is here. Maybe that's a little better. The battery doesn't seem to want to fit that well. It seems to want to make the back of this just bulge out a little bit, even though the battery is sitting in there flat. But maybe that's what the screw is for, to hold everything together. But anyway, we'll put the screw in it. And as you see, this is what it looks like. And there's a little knob here with an on-off on it that's off, and then here it click on. So I guess you turn this up for the sensitivity or down for the sensitivity, but when it's turned all the way up, right before it shuts off, is a high amount of sensitivity. So let's take a trip down to the basement and out into the garage, and I'll get you set up out there and see what's going on. In the meantime, I'm going to read a couple of minutes of directions here to make sure I can see exactly what's going on, and I'll hitch up in a second. Good morning. I've got a little project that I'm working on here, and just wanted to mention, for those of you that have liked and subscribed on some of my videos, I really appreciate it. So if you don't mind doing this one too. We're replacing an old gas log fireplace set with a gas fireplace insert, which I'll have more on later. But the interesting part of it is that I've got to wire a plug into my fireplace, and I'm using metallic sheath cable called MC cable. So as part of that, I'm going to tie it into my garage door opener plug, which is in the basement. And having said that, we just had a new service panel put in to replace an old service panel that we had, because we went to a solar, and the old service panel was sitting behind a sewer pipe, believe it or not, so that had to be moved. And now, because of that, I don't know where any of the circuits are in the panel. So rather than start shutting one circuit off at a time and disrupting a whole bunch of stuff, I decided I would try taking a shot at buying this product here. It's a AC circuit identifier, and it's called here AC breaker finder. So AC circuit breaker finder. So I'm going to unpackage this, which looks relatively easy, get it set up, and then I'll take you on a trip downstairs, and we'll see how this thing actually works. As I told you, it's easy. Got it in with a battery that's wrapped up in things. And oh, by the way, I will give you a link in the description in case you want to go buy one of these. It was not a lot of money, but comes with a little CD or DVD. I don't know why, but maybe some people might need that. So there are two components to this. There's I think this is called a transmitter. This we plug into any plug in the house, or in this case, I'm going to plug it into a plug where my garage door opener feeds into. And we turn this on somehow, we don't know yet. And then we use this wand, or this is apparently what the battery goes in as. This is the finder. And we turn that off and we give it some kind of volume. And then we will swipe this up and down the circuit breaker panel. And when it hits the circuit breaker that is controlling this plug, it's supposed to light up, indicate some kind of a tone will be on it. But again, you'll follow that along in this video, because I'll probably have to take 3 or 4 videos for this and then clip it together. So I'm going to put you on pause for a second, and then I'll be back with a screwdriver to open this up, and we'll get the battery in it, and then we'll move on to our next phase. One thing I wanted to mention that's found a little cool feature is on the transmitter plug. You always wonder if you're going to lose a part and maybe find one and not the other. But in the bottom of this, there's a little holder for it. So when you're done using it, you just plug it in there and you're good to go. Now, on this, which is also a circuit tester as well as something that will emit a signal for me to be able to find it in my my fuse panel, my circuit panel. It's all kinds of indicators on here as far as, you know, what's good or bad, looking for the ground, looking for the good AC, looking for the hot leg. So there's quite a bit of information on here. I'm not exactly sure what the red button is for yet, but it says, oh, that's a GFCI tester. So I guess if you push this button on a GFCI circuit, a ground fault circuit, it'll trip it and force it to test. So, you know, if your ground fault circuit breaker, like in your bathroom, is bad. So you would plug this in, trip it, and if the GFCI doesn't snap off, then you know your GFCI is bad. So I never knew that you could actually test that, but I'm gonna plug this together, and I'll hit you up when I'm down in the basement and figure out how this works. But one of the nice things about making these videos for people that maybe have never done this before is since I'm older, I've done a lot of different things, and I don't mind trying things. And if I find something that is outside of my abilities, like soldering, plumbing for one particular thing, I don't do that. I'll make a video now because I've got time in my hands, and I figure it might help some other people. So when you take several videos like this, I don't know if anybody else out there does make any videos, but you always wonder. So I make videos on my iPhone. I've got an iPhone 12 Pro Max, and I'm fortunate that iPhone has half a gig of data in it, which is a lot, so it holds a lot of film, and it's got a great camera on it. One of the things is, like, when you're doing a video, you've got 5 or 6 different sections of it. You don't want to post 5 or 6 different videos. So I learned that you can use iMovie, which is an Apple product, and basically you open iMovie and you just take all the clips you made. You can combine them in one continuous film, although you'll see breaks when little changes happen in the video, but you'll be able to post one video no matter how many segments are in it. I use iMovie for that, and it happens to work out good. So in this case, I will catch you again in well, for you it'll be a nanosecond, but for me, I'll go downstairs and get things set up in the garage and get ready to find the circuit and turn the power off. I'll catch you. All right, for sake of argument here on this conversion that I'm making of this test of the circuit, I've gone ahead and unplugged my garage door opener from this plug, and I've dropped the plug down because I'm going to have to tie in a circuit that I ran down through the fireplace. So I've got a, like I said, I have an MC cable coming out here. It's got about 25 feet on it, which is way more cable than I need. I'm going to run that up and over the ceiling. And I'm going to put an extension box on this, and I'll get into that with you later. I'm going to put an extension box on that device, and I'll wire it in and have it look all nice. So I'm going to take this and going to plug it into the plug, the end of this that I took out of the receiver, and then I'm going to see what happens here, because the power is still on. which we need. All right, that's in. I guess the good news is that it's both green, so it looks like it's wired properly. And now let's take some of the dust off me. We'll go in the circuit room and see if we can identify the circuit. Now, obviously, I got some nice light out here in the garage. All right, and with the light in the garage, when we shut the circuit off and we come back, those lights should actually be off, because I believe they're tied into the same thing that the garage door openers are tied into. Does anybody else have a little messy basement? I mean, I kind of do, but it's one of those projects. All right, so this is the new circuit panel. Let me adjust this down just to here. See if we can get any action here. It's a new Siemens panel. You might have seen where I put an interlock switch in, and I made a video on that, on generator safety. So you can't put the generator circuit on unless the power is off, and then you can engage this upward. But that's a different story altogether. So we're going to take our circuit finder. We're going to turn it on. Right? It made a little beep. And then I think we're supposed to run it down the outside of the outside, and see what we can find. Down and up. It says go like this. Okay, down and up. Well, that's not the desired result. Maybe I have to turn the sensitivity down on it, because pretty much everything was going off here on every breaker. Obviously, I've got some 20 amp, nope. Double 20s, nope. Little 20s, nope. So far, nothing. So far, nothing. Kind of disappointed in this. It hasn't found anything, but maybe I'm doing something wrong. Up and down, up and down. Nothing. Nothing. Turn the sensitivity up a little bit more. Sensitivity. Nothing. Ah, I'm kind of surprised. Oh, there's something. There it is. You'll see. Come down here. Looks like it's this circuit right here that I'm on. So I'm going to shut that one off. And obviously it went off because there's no more signal coming from the garage. So let's shut this little baby off now and go see exactly if that was the one that we need. So it looks like you had to play with the sensitivity on that a little bit, and just get it kind of like a little more than halfway up, so that it's not reading electricity from the other circuits, or maybe it was finding some signal bleed over. And if we open this door, we should have some darkness. And we have darkness, so it looks like we found what we were looking for. All right. So at this point, I'm going to end this video. It looks like everything is good. I'm going to end this video, and I'll get back to work here and get my stuff ready and tie this in. But I do appreciate you taking a couple of minutes to watch my video, and I have shut it off with the power button, and I'm storing this in the base where it belongs. Then I'm going to put it in a bucket that I have marked with my electrical tools on it. So I decided to store things in, like, the Home Depot with the Lowe's buckets, the 5-gallon buckets. I've gotten a bunch of those, and like my electrical tools I'll put in one. My general wrenches and pliers I put in another, some sockets and drills and drill bits I put in a third. And whenever I go out and help the kids, which I will from time to time, I'll end up having to take some tools with me. So instead of foraging around for exactly what I'll need, I end up just grabbing the bucket, bringing the whole bucket with me. So that kind of makes sense for me and makes life easy. So again, this was the X-Tech circuit breaker finder, and the product number is CB10. And if you're looking for something like this, I'm going to put a link down in the description. So feel free to buy one if you don't have one. As you can tell, I've got a pretty big panel and there's a lot of circuits to find. So I'll probably have my wife walk around the house and plug this in, and I'll stay down in the basement and try to find and identify the circuits now that we have a new panel, and make up a chart, get them all labeled and put them on there. But again, like and subscribe if you can, and thanks for stopping by. Have a good day.